And welcome to week 4 of the LCS. We've got patch 9.3 that just hit. That's it. That is the crit marksman patch. Okay, they're back in the game. We're going to start seeing marksmen a little bit more often. And hey, a bunch of the OPs have just been nerfed. That's right. We've got ones like Cassiopeia, Camille, Aatrox, Akali, and who do we got? Yeah, those are the big ones. They've all been nerfed. Urgot, Karthus, not touched. But then Irelia also buffed. So top laners, mid laners, very happy about that. Giving my best Thorin impression with the coat. And I don't just got one scarf. Look, one scarf, that's pretty normal. But 2 scarves? Hey, now we're doing it, all right? Coat, 2 scarves, RavExel, week 4 of the LCS. Let's go. Favorite teams, 100 Thieves, coming right out. We got the teams of Someday and Hoo-Hee Bang and Afro Moo. And the loves of my life, Flyquest. That's right, we got the Canadian boys, Viper. Okay, Santorin, not Canadian. Pobelter, not Canadian. But Wild Turtle and JJ, both hailing from the Toronto region, had the honor of casting Viper and JJ at a tournament against each other. JJ came out on top just barely in a 3-game series there in the finals at Legends of the Rift a couple years ago. Check out a couple years back on my YouTube, and you can watch these budding LCS current professionals back when they were playing in their Challenger days, JJ with the University of Toronto. Anyways, let's get back to this game. We have Someday first picking the Silas. Being the occasional first pick. Now the danger there is your enemy team is not going to pick any ultimates for you to use, but he's such a lane bully and he's so overtuned right now that teams are first picking him, not even seeing what the other enemy's ultimates are. Safely picked is the Ezreal and the Zoe, so we've got lots of poke damage. Ezreal, one of the top 80 carries in the game, followed by the Tom Kench and Ashe. Ashe getting buffed because of the crit changes. Now, items that she likes to build, such as the Infinity Edge, make her so much better. Also, the Static Shiv has been buffed as well. So, Rapid Fire Cannon nerfed, Static Shiv buffed, as well as the Phantom Dancer, huge buff. It's a must build on many crit melee champions, as well as crit marksmen, either as a 2nd item, 3rd item, 4th item. You get a shield now whenever you're brought down to below, I believe it's 20 or 30% health, 30% I believe corrected. And now it is a item that we're going to see much more. Some of the bans coming out here, we have Zach and Olaf here from Flyquest trying to ban out Anda, who's had a fairly good split so far here, Spring Split 2019, but I thought had an excellent summer 2018, coming into the team partway through the season and not being the reason why they faltered. Cody's son, team cohesion. Anyways, 100 Thieves, they're going ahead and banning out some top laners against the high-flying Viper. They're banning out Jace and Fiora. We're seeing a lot of Jace recently here in week 3 and week 4, and doing fairly well. I believe we even saw him in the jungle week 3, although not winning, but looking pretty decent. Jarvan, one of my favorite champions, one of the champions I played first in Season 2, the first one that I meant, now being seen in the meta, often in the jungle. So he tends to be building kind of the warrior, and then sometimes another damage item, and then before proceeding into tank. As well as, oh, I can't believe it! Look at the Hoo-Hee special! Aurelion Sol picked for the first time in 2019, I'm going to say in professional play. I follow LCK. He's not been played there. I only very loosely follow LEC and LPL. Again, haven't heard of it. This is the Hoo-Hee special. First time being picked. I can't wait. This is a really exciting game. And you know what? It's starting to get a little warm in here, but I'm going to keep my 2 scarves on because otherwise, I'd just be left with 1 scarf or no scarves. And then how would you know how to differentiate me from anybody else with a scarf or no scarf? I'm 2 scarves, okay? Not my name. RavExel. Just having a little fun practicing for a live tournament tomorrow at the Invictus Game Station. It is their League of Legends Tournament Cup, the Season 2, and this is in partnership with the Toronto League Communes, the local Toronto League of Legends group that's been around for some years now. I've had a chance to meet some of the people working there, 11,000 members on their Facebook group, a real staple of the community, and they're throwing down this tournament here. It's been building for the last month now, maybe even a little bit longer, with the quarterfinals and semifinals just being played today on Saturday, and then tomorrow, the final, Sunday, we're going to be seeing the final. I'm going to be casting the best of 5 games there. We're going to be seeing the 2 finalists for Canadian League of Legends teams. Sorry, call it the CLOL, Canadian League of... not Canadian. Collegiate League of Legends teams. We're participating, including my alma mater, the Humber Hawks. Go Hawks, go Hawks! Although I have it on good authority, they're in the 3rd place game, but hey, you know, that's still pretty good, right? Like, a bunch of teams joined, they're guaranteed their money. 8 teams got paid or getting some sort of money and ride points coming back, and I can't wait to cast this tournament and future events. That's Invictus Game Station. This event is going to be live. 558 Yonge Street. That's around Yonge and College sort of area. Look it out. It is an awesome space. Even if you just want to walk in and take a look around, it is completely for esports. They have private rooms for teams. They have a large projector. They've got so many top equipped computers for your gaming needs. Invictus Game Station. Go check it out. And then their classic location at 250 Shepherd Avenue East. That's in North York, just north on Shepherd there. And yeah, that's kind of their original location. You'll know it from all the League of Legends characters outside. But here we go. We have the game. Thorin and Viper starting off in this top leash as probably the champion I'm playing the most these days. Sejuani, you like starting that buff. You don't really need much of a leash there. You just start that red buff. And what I like to do is to go towards the Golem and then towards the Scuttle. So it seems like Thorin, who leads the league in many stats, which nobody would have predicted that at the beginning of the year. Also, nobody would predict Flyquest would start out of the gate so well. I mean, yes, they have a 3-3 record, but they've looked really good doing it. Just solid team play from this team of not very many superstars. You got to think Pobelter's probably the most well-known, probably had the most success, but he's always been known as an NA mid laner, not necessarily as a top international mid laner, as we're starting to see more and more international talent come into the league. Wild Turtle having an excellent year. One of the top 3 or 4 80 carries so far in the season. And you're talking about a league stacked with 80 carries. Bang coming in. Doublelift looking strong. Sven, by far one of the best mid laners the West has ever produced. And is looking pretty good with Smoothie. Yes, they don't have the greatest record, but he's looked pretty good in the process, playing a lot of Ezreal. Anyways, back to this game. As you can see, first pick Silas. Going right up against, this is the first time we're seeing Riven here in the 2019 season, and this is the Viper one trick. Viper was known for his challenger level of Riven, and in the tournament that I cast, Legends of the Rift, Viper, who was playing it on Team U Serious, he had Riven banned out every game. He couldn't play it, but Riven does not get banned here in the LCS, and here we get to see him play it for the first time. I can't wait. Against the new Silas, beautiful. And going right in, Jarvan coming up with the double buffs. Just going to get some damage onto the JJ. Going to back right off. Not going to go ahead and contest the buff, but did get that damage onto Braum. And is just going to ahead and going to contest for this buff. Thorin just barely getting out. Let's see if Anda is going to use the smite. He most likely, as after movie, will reset it. Oh, but they just keep... they keep the Gromp from switching back and forth. So if that had switched back and forth 3 or 4 times, it would have reset and it would have had to use the smite. But because they kept it attacking Tom Kench, it did not have a chance to reset, and Jarvan not needing to use the smite, which was on cooldown. But another 15 seconds on that. Aurelion Sol, as you can see, 11 wins, 3 losses, which on Huhi hasn't always been on the best teams. has been on primarily CLG for the last few years. So that's actually an amazing record for CLG, who did not have an 11-3 quarter average type of win-loss type of record, which is up and around the 80% type of range. CLG not having the greatest 2018, and kind of up and down here in the 2019 season, from going from the worst team looking like week 1 to week 2 looking pretty good, like a, you know, maybe a number 4 team, number 5, you know, playoff contender. Pretty good from going from last place. Anyways, let's see how this top lane is going. Viper starting to push in this top lane. Someday is going to let this push to turret, and it's going to try to pick up as much of the CS as possible. Looking at those minions, Viper will probably have a 1 or 2 CS lead after Someday is able to get that all those minions under turret. But here we are, 5 minutes in the game, equal gold all over the map, and Executioner's calling for Riven as a first item. So I don't get to see Riven too much. Frankly, you know, I don't see the professionals, what they build first and what they tend to prioritize. But here, the healing reduction of the Executioner's calling being the first item. Going around the map, we're having Jarvan having a little CS lead on Santorin. Of course, we saw stealing that Gromp before. Santorin just wanting to get away, not wanting to fight early. Sejuani not known for her early fighting prowess, just flashing out of there, not wanting to having that knockup blocked. That Q would have been stopped by the Jarvan, who's going to go ahead and get that scuttle. Jarvan having a very nice early lead. He's going to get to level 6 first. Going to give that top lane a little bit of vision. Viper, knowing that the jungler was right around there, warding the tri-bush, and Jarvan also saw that ward go into tri, so he's just going to go ahead, knows he's been seen multiple times, and it's going to swing back around towards the red buff. As of right now, getting pushed, but that is going to change very shortly. There's no way that Pobelter is going to be able to keep this push onto Aurelion Sol as soon as he gets a couple of items. Not been back to base just yet. Same thing with Pobelter, and going to get the push onto Pob, after clearing out that wave, will have a slight lead. Bottom lane, we're seeing once again, and I say once again because I have just been watching NALCS, a lot of Ashe being picked. Ashe getting early lane priority in every matchup I've seen today. He's been played twice earlier in LCS, and now we're seeing in 100 Thieves and Flyquest, Bang also getting the lead. I believe it was against TL that the Ashe previously was able to get a nice farm lead up until about the 15-20 minute mark. So that even against the top bottom lane of Core JJ and Doublelift, still being able to get that lead earlier in the day here on week 4, day 1. Pretty even game going so far. We're having that early Mountain Dragon. Teams prioritizing these dragons definitely much earlier now that the first dragons and second dragons have been buffed. So a lot more of pre-10 minute dragons, where before you would only see that with possibly a ocean or an infernal before 10 minutes. Now you really see just about any of the dragons taken before then. I know a lot of the casters are talking a lot about the preference for early oceans, which I said before, which has been like that for a while. But now also early mountain dragons, because of the turret plating. When you go ahead and knock down these early mountain dragons, when you hit the turret, you're now doing bonus damage to knock out more of those plates, which then in turn gets you more money for more items, therefore snowballing the game. And you just keep that mountain dragon the whole game against turrets, against dragons, against barons. It just gives so much playmaking opportunity, as well as, like I was saying, additional gold getting opportunity. But here we're having the lane starting to push now a little bit more towards the Zoe. He has the catalyst, is going to help him with his mana issues, which is something that Aurelion Sol struggles with early on. You really want, with that type of play style, to push the lane in and then to roam. Push the lane, roam. Push the lane, roam. And then you can do so many unique paths and that you can go right over walls with your ultimate. So we're going to see he now having the blue buff. if he's going to be able to do this. Pobelter, his blue buff is now up, and it looks like Sejuani is moving towards it. And yep, just going there right now. Still even CS so far. He knows that Pobelter's gone towards the blue. Knows he's got a little bit of time. Just going to roam up towards the jungler and counter jungling a little bit towards the top side while first taking out that ward. Already has the shadow ward out there. Just going to get some extra vision by clearing that out. But deciding not to continue that is the Jarvan. I would have thought he maybe want to fight for that. He's a little bit stronger than Santorin is, and he was right there. So I would have thought he would have wanted to try to take those Raptor camps away. He had the smite available, and he could have put himself even further against the Sejuani. So just trying to be a little bit more cautious is Anda, not wanting to engage in a 2-on-2 sort of mini fight around the enemy's jungle and have that lost and then lose that early CS and tempo advantage that they've already accrued. 100 gold up for Flyquest, so really the dragon is the only thing that separates them. 100 Thieves being able to take that. Next dragon is another mountain, so we're going to see if they're going to prioritize that. Also, what's really been prioritized is the Rift Herald. Now, because of the turret plating staying up until the 14-minute mark, you have this magic time between 10 and 13 minutes. If you can get that Rift Herald and use it effectively on a turret, you're guaranteed at least 2 tower turret plating. So 2 of them, 160 gold each, so 320 gold. So you get the objective, plus you get damage out of the turret, plus you get gold. And that's become a real point of contention. Like, teams are fighting over it, teams are prioritizing it, teams are even trading all the 4 types of elemental drakes. Whereas before, you generally only wanted to trade it with maybe like a wind dragon, like you only wanted to lose the wind. Oh, but here we're having the early damage. Huhi getting the big damage onto the Pobelter, going ahead and using the exhaust, which was just from the passive, from the W there. And Pobelter being able to stop some of that damage coming out from Huhi, but a nice early trade from Huhi. He's going to be very happy with that. Also running the Phase Rush and the Cleanse, so going for some extra movement and a little bit of extra safety there, just not wanting to get held in place. 12-minute mark. Working towards the end of laning phase. Not quite yet. It seems like all the lanes are still there, but it's not going to last for very much longer. Pobelter currently showing the barrier. There we have it. 12 minutes. And nope, he's not going for it. He's going to go ahead for the top gank. There's no vision on there. Someday, kind of realizing what's going on, was already starting to back out on just a pro ability there, realizing that he was in danger. Either saw something that Riven did, or was just predicting where the Sejuani was on the map and already started to move back before the Sejuani had shown up. So excellent veteran play there from Someday, piloting this Silas. And here's Hui. Oh, he was able to get over that wall pretty fast. And Flyquest is going to go ahead and give up this bot turret, at least a major part of it, as they did not want to get 4-manned, and Afram was going to go ahead and tank that turret shot in order to secure that. And wow, first turret and a dragon going over for 100 Thieves, and only a Rift Herald that possibly going to get traded over. So without even kills on the board, 100 Thieves moving around the map, taking objectives at a quicker ability and a more concise and effective ability than Flyquest. And they've got 2 mountain dragons and first turret, a bunch of turret plates off. Pretty good looking for this team that the first couple of weeks looked like one of the worst teams of the league. And that's right, you did hear me, folks, before. This is my favorite team. I couldn't believe it. You have one of the biggest imports that has ever come over into North America in Bang, put him with an MVP support in Aframu. And, you know, you're assuming big things. They go and they're streaming on Twitch, their duo lane. They are rocking NA solo queue. They're just blasting people. And Then they go to the league and they don't do much. They just farm. Bang stays safe. Aframu doesn't really have a lot to work with because his team is losing, specifically Huhi, losing all over the map. And there you see 100 Thieves, the 5 turret plates taken over the 3 from Flyquest, and that was because of that first tower there on the bottom lane. All 5 plates taken out on the bottom lane, and that's where the difference was in that goal. Flyquest not using the Rift Herald yet, and not only being able to get the two turret plates. Now they did use that Rift Herald and did just get those 2 plates, but I'm not seeing exactly where it was used from. But anyways, now 100 Thieves did a 2-0 week here in week 3, and now it's starting looking like they're hitting their stride, that they're starting to find their groove. This team that's been kind of thrown together, Huhi and Bang being the new components of this team, starting to finally look good. And really, it's just got to be Huhi. He's just got to kind of stem the flow. Also, Someday, was not looking like his MVP self in those first couple of weeks, but week 3 was looking better. So we're going to see if they're going to be back up to what a lot of people were thinking were going to be a top 3 team in the league. Now, Flyquest, they did the opposite of 100 Thieves. They came out of the gate, and they were looking like one of the best teams of the league. I believe they started with a 2-0 week and then a 1-1 week, followed by an 0-2 week. So they're going in the reverse direction, starting extremely strong and then going back. But here we're having a fight between Someday and Viper. Viper's going back in. He likes his odds, but little does he know that Aurelion Sol is coming from behind, and they're going to be able to turn this. Aurelion Sol with the blue buff, and with Someday, who's they going to give it to? They're going to pass it over to Silas, and not wanting to die there, just giving it over to whoever was going to take that first. Neither of them was giving that. I think Huhi was fine to take that as well. But Viper almost getting the trading kill back, not quite. Even gold. And we're here on the arrow out and just barely missing Pobelter. Good try on that play. The 2 of 100 Thieves members would have been able to follow that up immediately after. Pobelter landing the Sleepy Trouble Bottle right on. But Aframu's going right into the base, going ahead and taking turret shots. Pobelter pretty quick on the retreat. 4 people showing mid, and there's not really much that Zoe can do here against 4 members. Went ahead and tried to hit the cannon minion, but was not able to do so. But the ult from Wild Turtles, Ezreal, going right down the middle. Oh, the Drowsy onto Ashe! But Aframu on the Tom Kench, being able to get the Devour, get him to safety. Early advantage, 100 Thieves. Mid tower, still at nearly full health. 4 members of Flyquest now switching back around, and might be looking for an engage here onto the Jarvan, but deciding against it. If he really wanted to get that under tower, if he was going to ult, he wanted to get someone under tower. Didn't look like he was going to be able to do that. Decided not to press it, and we're having an Infernal Dragon up at the 18-20 mark here, and Anda looks like he was able to get that. Absolutely. He got the Scuttle Crab, getting early damage onto Sejuani. Silas stealing the Sejuani ult, being able to lock that up, picking up another kill. 2 kills over for Sunday, but not only that, but they're going to have priority onto this dragon that's going to come up. They're going to have a real quick 3 dragons before the 20-minute mark. Now 2 kills over their way. 100 Thieves very aptly are taking these early advantages and turning them into objectives, which they're going to press into the lead going forward. Those 2, here, we'll go ahead and watch this first. Sejuani was just trying to get it, tried smiting, but was not able to get it. Went ahead and queued over the wall, but very succinct ultimate there from Jarvan, being able to catch the Sejuani as she was going over the wall, hitting the R onto the Sejuani, so that when Sejuani crossed the wall, went onto the ledge, the ultimate went right on top, nowhere for him to go, and the kill locked up. Of course, using the flash, but Santorin going to be looking to try to be more of a factor here in these mid-game team fights. So far has not been able to do too much, and getting the slightly better trades here in the jungle matchup. The observers predicting that there's going to be a team fight here. We're having all 5 members of both teams going towards the mid lane. If you're looking at team fight prowess, you'd have to give it to the 100 Thieves squad. The Jarvan, Aurelion Sol, were doing a lot more work, whereas Flyquest has got more of a pokey comp with the Ezreal, with the Zoe. Riven not being the best team fighter, really has to be looking for a flank in somewhere, does not want to be going up against the front line and getting CC'd and bursted, really wants to be getting onto a carry, and the arrow just misses from Bang! Not being able to find these early arrows is Bang, but he's throwing them out there. Flyquest moving towards the mid lane. He's got a nice wave. He's going to be able to get this turret down to about half health. Let's see if they can do any more, whether they stay, but not being able to keep those minions alive too much longer is Flyquest, but even down to below the half mark, maybe around the 40% mark. Get a little hydration here, 20 minutes in. All right. Third dragon, here we go, on the way. 100 Thieves, all members there. Does not look like Flyquest is going to be responding. They were not in position. 100 Thieves being able to get all 5 members down by the river to the dragon pit before Flyquest could even send one. And Flyquest just should not have gone to the dragon pit, decided not to. They're down 3 dragons, but really, this game is not insurmountable. Just 1,000 gold. There's still a lot of gold on the map. If you're looking at the scaling, both teams don't really scale that great. But the Zoe in the late game can really pick up some picks, and there's really quite a bit of options on who she can burst out. Really, everyone except for the Tom Kench is burstable. Possibly the Jarvan will start to build a little bit more tank, as you can see that Kindle gem, wanting to get that early health and early CDR, having already built that Warriors enchant. I'm thinking he's going to go tank after this early Warriors enchant. You want to do that just to get those early stats. You want to be able to farm to be able to farm through your camps. The more damage is the Warrior is going to do more than the Cinder Hulk, as well as for those early skirmishes, either the one-on-ones against the Sejuani with the Jarvan with the Warrior with this and versus the Sejuani with the Cinder Hulk. That Jarvan's going to win that battle every time, and then also will be an advantage to win those 2-on-2 fights unless Sejuani can find some passive procs or a good ultimate or a good chain CC. Silas here picking up the Spirit Visage and the Iceborne Gauntlet. So it's got armor, has got magic resist, hit points. Really going very tanky on this top lane build. He's going to be looking for some key ultimates. You saw him take the Sejuani ultimate earlier and finish him off with it. It's going to be one of the trolliest things. I know I've played some games as Gragas and Karthus recently, and having the Silas take your ultimate and then use it against you to kill you is really insult to injury. It really feels that much worse, and there we got to see the Silas do that upon the Santorin Sejuani jungle. Aurelion Sol just with 1.5 items made so far. Going to be looking to pick up that second item. Does have the Blasting Wand finished. Have just seen a little bit of roaming bot lane here from Huhi, but most importantly, 0 deaths. That's right, Huhi is not throwing this game, and really, that's a major win condition for 100 Thieves, is just don't have your mid laner, which, my friend Waffen and I talk about it frequently, but why didn't 100 Thieves get Pobelter, right? You switch Huhi out with Pobelter, and you look at that team, and they seem to be, that would be, you would think that would be a guaranteed number 2, at worst number 3 team in the LCS. But here we're having, looks like some Someday going in for the flank, but backing off is JJ and Wild Turtle. Going to give up that first mid turret here. And once again, the river control from 100 Thieves. They've just been controlling it all game and Jarvan. Early Scuttle Crabs stealing a couple of camps also away from Santorin, and then prioritizing these early dragons have just been able to completely control the map through the use of the river. there finally, FlyQuest being able to get that mid-turret back. Going to open up the map a little bit so they can move around. Aurelian Sol will not have that tower to run back to very easily. We'll have to go back a little further. Bang's just wanting to mess around a little bit with JJ, getting him down to half health, but most importantly, stopping the back. Oh, very, very close. Sleepy Travel Bubble almost hitting Anda, and with only that little bit of hit points from the Kindle Gem and the magic resist from the Mercurial Treads, that could have did some good damage, though would not have finished him. Sejuani was right around the corner. Still, it would have been a 2-on-2, and FlyQuest probably wouldn't want that. Probably just want to get that damage and back out. Both teams have control wards onto the Baron. 25 minutes into this game. Really, I'm looking for 100 Thieves to get any sort of macro advantage or any sort of team fight lead with these two Mountain Dragons and the Inferno. We'll be able to knock down that Baron extremely quickly. I think in the maybe the 6 to 8 second range, depending how many champs they have over there. Huhi going to go ahead and knock down some damage from this top turret. Will most likely not get it because that next wave is a little bit far. The only deaths for FlyQuest on Viper and Santorin. Someday picking up both of these kills. Very even on the gold. The difference has been the dragons. The difference has been the control. 100 Thieves is having these advantages. I didn't really like that there. Anda feeling like he needs to make a play. They're just trying to get any sort of advantage to be able to use these mountain dragons to press an objective. Going ahead and using that on Braum, which is fine if he's off alone, but being right beside the Sejuani, just being able to W right over, and yeah, a W for an ultimate. Not a great trade for 100 Thieves. They really need that ultimate as an engage tool. And here we're having Bang being able to resist that stun, but first kill back over towards the FlyQuest squad. They have gotten their first kill onto Aframu. And that's a 5 for 3. So 2 kills right over for FlyQuest. And see if they're going to do the Baron themselves. They are. And with the jungler being down for 100 Thieves, it should be uncontested. Aurelian Sol moving around, considering it. Silas and Ashe moving their way forward, but it is a 5-on-3. But they are going to go ahead and engage on it. Sejuani being able to get to the Baron someday, picking up the kill. Overall, FlyQuest is going to be pretty happy with that. 1 death over for the Baron. It looked like that was going to be a worse trade for 100 Thieves. Here we're seeing the Tom Kench get stunned and then knocked up. Bang was able to get rid of the stun that was on him, and by that time it was just way out of the team fight, and getting the 3 passive procs of the Sejuani, getting the stun right over that wall. It's got a good range to it, and Sejuani hitting that E and sending that stun right over towards Bang, and team being able to finish that up. Vipers picked up his first kill on Riven, and then a kill going over to Pobelter as well. So you really couldn't have placed those any better. The 2 solo lane carries getting those early kills. Wild Turtle trying a cheeky steal there with the ultimate. Bang did get that red buff. Once again, misses with the arrow. This is 3 arrows that I've seen him throw out from long range and have not been able to hit any of them. Huhi trying to get in on the flank, being able to get some good damage onto Wild Turtle, also trading back, but not enough for them to want to engage on a full-fledged team fight. But here they go. Viper is in the bot lane, has not TP'd as of yet, but here he comes. He did knock down the tower. They're going to go ahead and re-engage on this. 100 Thieves are in a lot of trouble as Viper gets knocked up, and it's just on the backside of the map, being able to jump right over the Jarvan ultimate. He's going in. He's got the shield. Sleepy Trouble Bubble hitting the Jarvan, but the Flagon Dragon get him to safety. Afromu just being able to tank enough of that, and yeah, nobody died, but huge advantage for Flyquest, getting all kinds of well, being able to win that team fight, have big health bars, knocking down the mid turret, and now can go ahead and reset about 10 seconds faster than 100 Thieves can push out these lanes. So is going to go ahead with the Baron, get that tier 2 mid turret, and be able to set up for another Baron push. Still some time left on this Baron, and we're going to see, as you can see in the top right corner, 52 seconds on this Baron. That's still enough to push. We're going to see if they're going to do a 4-1, which would be the most common, or were they going to do a 1-3-1? Let's see. Flyquest traditionally is like doing the 1-4, whereas 100 Thieves prefers to do the 1-3-1. And yep, they're going to send Viper onto the bot lane. Mid is pushing already. Flyquest moving through the jungle with these sweepers. Just wanting to make sure that this jungle is cleared. Looking to see if 100 Thieves is going to step out of their base and into their jungle without vision. And it does not look like they're going to. Flyquest being very careful, not wanting to press this second Baron push too much, and Baron just knocking down. Baron power play at 26-11. Not quite the best Baron power play, really just getting one turret with it, but hey, mid turret, at least they got something. Bot lane with a full cannon minion wave. 5 members of 100 Thieves now in the area. Looks like 100 Thieves may be looking to re-engage, but they're just a little bit too far away is Flyquest. And they're going to go back to mid lane and start pushing that in. Next objectives are up on the top left of the map. 3rd Mountain Dragon up in 1:30. Baron in 1:50. So this should play to a dragon fight first, then followed by the Baron. Next dragon after this Mountain Dragon will be the Elder. And so if 100 Thieves can get this next Mountain Dragon, that will be a 5-stack Elder Dragon that they could play to. And really, 3 Mountain Dragons, an Ocean, and an Infernal Dragon. If you win that team fight with that Elder Dragon, you're doing 3 Mountain Dragons and an Infernal, and you're healing up. You're going to crush their base. You're going to go right through. You're just going to put Tom Kench in the front. You're going to run right through, and you're going to knock down each turret in about 2 seconds with all that extra damage. Here, Someday, as you can see, has the Sejuani ultimate, and just using it there in the last second because it was just about the timeout. Seems to be his favorite go-to is that Sejuani ultimate. Really has more utility than damage, but well, you know, it does scale with AP, but Someday not making AP, doing more of a tank and utility build, yet having all 3 kills on his team, despite playing this Sylas as a tank. And this just shows how high Sylas's base numbers are. This can't continue going forward, you would think. You think in the next couple of patches that they're going to go ahead and nerf Sylas just a little bit to bring him back down to non-first pick status without seeing any of the other ultimates. There, both teams using the Ezreal ultimate for scouting. Flyquest getting some vision down. Dragon is up. Baron now up as well. Both teams would rather have the Baron, but Mountain Dragon is nothing to laugh at. Allows when your team when you get an advantage, to push that advantage. Flyquest playing very safe. Not realizing that for this entire game, for the most part, they're just a little step behind. So giving up what they know they can't fight over, just making sure to get whatever poke they can and not put themselves in a position where they can lose this game all of a sudden. 100 Thieves really just has to find this one opening. They don't need much. They don't well, their engage tool would really be the Jarvan. That's really their only way in. So it's dependent on Anda to get in, and really Bang could start a fight as well with the ultimate, but so far we've seen him miss pretty much all of his glacial arrows. There's one again, and he finally hits one. He throws one right and is completely blind, and he hits a mass of 4 players. I believe he hits Santorin, but they like that. Flyquest liking that the Ashe ultimate is down. Silas is taking the Braum ultimate and going ahead and using it to stop the counter engage of Flyquest. Flyquest realizing that 2 ultimates are down from 100 Thieves, where going back towards the Baron, but are going to decide to reset and start clearing the jungle first. They also have a lane, they have a top lane that is pushing towards them that they also would like to start pushing in their favor before they start this dragon. Bot lane extremely in FlyQuest's favor, right near the turret. Here in the bot lane, so Someday is going to have to go down and answer that, and right now he's not in position to do so. He is in the dragon, and it looks like FlyQuest is not going to put anyone near the dragon, and it will be 100 Thieves to take. Let's see if FlyQuest starts this Baron up, knowing that the dragon is most likely being taken at this point. They don't go for the aggressive play, and that's really been their motive all game, just making sure to not make the mistakes. Yes, they are losing the dragons, but look at the gold. They got the gold lead. They're getting these farm advantages in top lane, significant advantage, 40 CS, not quite making up for the 3 kills that Someday has, but really pretty close. The Wild Turtle being able to have that Klepto procs is really racking up 3,000-4,000 gold on that Klepto, and getting that slight gold lead because of it, because he's down in CS. And here we're having FlyQuest engaging onto Huhi. Perfect engage, being able to get locked up, and go ahead and retreat from the play. Vipers in the backline going ahead after Bang, but Aframu is going to try to put the CC down. Bang is trying to get as much damage as possible, but not quite enough to stop Viper from getting it in, and the Santorin getting the stopwatch there at the end of the team fight before the team is able to pick up Sunday, and we're having 3 kills go over for FlyQuest with none going over for 100 Thieves. FlyQuest is going to be able to go ahead and take this mid turret and mid inhibitor. So we're going to see, they're definitely going to take these 2 objectives. Now, do they then try to go ahead and finish, which would be the aggressive play, or do they go back and get the Baron, which would be how they're playing this game, and be the passive play? But here they're going in. JJ is realizing they have a chance to win this. Santorin's almost dead here under the back. One of the turrets are down. Jeb Viper being able to get into the back lane, being able to lock it up, and FlyQuest is going to do it, and they did it. They have 4 people up. All of them being able to get there, playing slow the entire game, and getting that late game team fight. They had a slight gold lead, down 5 dragons. How often do you see a team up 5 dragons versus 0? How often do you see them lose an end game team fight? How often are you seeing them having a gold disadvantage? But as was said, the Riven farm in top lane made a difference. The Klepto on Ezreal made a difference. Not dying needlessly. FlyQuest this whole game, JJ doing an extremely good job, as well as Santorin, really not trying to press Anda on the Jarvan too much when he was down initially, just being able to do enough, coming together in this great teamwork as we've been seeing them do all season, and being able to reverse this slide, changing the 0-2 week that they had in week 3, now in week 4, going up one game to nothing against a very game squad of 100 Thieves. And this is once again a very close game going against 100 Thieves. And we've seen this happen a couple of times where either they're not able to finish off a game and they're doing 40, 50-minute games that they should be finishing in 30, 35 minutes, or that they're having games that they're ahead and then losing a mid to late game team fight and then losing the game despite being up. And you saw there, folks, they had a lead all game. They had the ways to win. They just needed to get an engage, and they were never able to get that. Bang, not able to get the right ultimates, and not being able to do the Jarvan ultimates either to the right target, never hitting a carry. But let's go ahead and check what Viper has to say here with Avale.
I was really excited. I actually didn't expect to play Riven. It just looked too good to pick. Like, I was planning to pick like Jace or something, but Riven looked too good, so I just went for it.
We don't get to see these solo queue signature picks so often, so for you, what's the difference between playing her in solo queue and playing her on the big stage?
Playing Riven in solo queue, I can kind of just do whatever I want. I don't have to communicate with my team to carry the game. So I can just like keep pushing the wave and just like group all the time. I don't know, it's a lot easier to play Riven, I think, in a team game where they listen, like everyone listens to you and you can just do your own thing.
And we saw in that final team fight, Thorin engaging and you kind of taking off Bang on the side, but who really made the final call to push for the win?
It was kind of, all of us made like the exact same call. We were just waiting for the right engage to go in. Everyone was saying the same thing, guys. We need to go in. This game is going for too long until we found the perfect engage. I told them I can just 2v1 the back line, and we closed out the game after that.
What confidence. I can 2v1.
You play Clutch Gaming and you go against Huni in the top lane tomorrow. What are your thoughts going into the match against him?
Should be fun laning against Huni. I have a lot of respect to him, but I'm not worried at all. I think I got it.
Well, thank you, and wishing you the best of luck in that match. For more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm analyst.
Great interview from a guy I personally casted himself. Viper, I never got to cast him with his signature Riven pick before. Honored to see that against the Silas top pick of Someday. Someday going up 3-0 in the top lane. Going full tank, not able to get the split push advantage onto Viper. Viper getting the big outplay, knocking out Bang in that team fight despite Afromu helping Bang, getting the Devour, getting the CC. It's not enough. Viper with the CS lead, believe only dying, he either died 0 times or once. It was very, very little, and just an excellent game. Yeah, you got to be, I'd have to say MVP goes to Viper. It'd be close, but I'd say MVP goes to Viper despite losing that early game matchup. Being able to hold it together, split push, and be that late game damage threat. Awesome job. Flyquest over Riven. No, Flyquest over 100 Thieves with the Riven. Viper, I myself, RavExel, currently wearing 2 scars. Doing the Thorin coat. Gotta love it. Invictus Game Station Season 2 League of Legends Cup with Toronto League Commune. RavExel. Love doing it. See you later, guys.